That's already done. So let me write the names of the sale people who are going to make a sale in the 2 quarters. So I'm not writing the heading just for a change. I'm going to write only the names, and I feel too sorry when I write the names as A, B, C, D. But that's okay. We can always write any random names when we are writing formal sheets. So that's the okay. Let me write the names also just for the reference. So let me insert one more column at the top, and I write name over here. And then I write the sale in, let me write exceed quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and that's it. Let's have 4. Let's have 3. And then it is not going to give you any number, but it has only given us the either yes or no. So there are 3 people that you see who have there are rather 5 people who have who are there in the sales team, and in the first quarter only 2 have exceeded the sales, and the second quarter 3 have exceeded the sales. So let me just make a data sheet, and then I'm going to work on that. And only 2 people are the one who have not been able to clear the quarter 2 bar. For quarter 3, we have all more people who are able to clear, because ultimately at the end of the day you have to clear your target, otherwise you risk your job. So I have this very simple database with me with the sales people and the data regarding how much sales they have done in the text. So it's not the number, it's just the yes and no, telling you whether these many people have exceeded quarter 1, quarter 2, and quarter 3. All right. So I hope the question is clear to everybody. And now we are going to go for the exercise using count if s. Now coming back to the sheet again. So let me write the very first question that I have, and the question is count. You can write count how many times A exceeded the sales quota for Q1 or Q2 and Q3. So I repeat the question. Count how many times. I'll write it on the Excel sheet for you people so that you can see. Count how many times A has exceeded the sales quota. I'll write it over here for the reference. How many times A has exceeded sales quota over here. Now, if you see the table also very clearly, it shows you 3 times, right? But just in case, I repeat it again and again, if there are more people, trying to, we are going to work on, automatically this will become very tedious task. So what is the way out? Can you tell? You can do that on your own also. The way out will be, we use the count if function. So I write it for you. I do it the first one, and then you can do the later one. In this particular scenario, we're going to use only simple one, and then we will see the other cases also. So it says count the number of times this has exceeded, especially, I'll repeat again, it's particularly about B. So we don't have to select the other columns. We can simply select the particular person that is being named in the question. And in this particular thing, since it is being named, there's no point selecting the other names. But just in case, if you have how many salespeople have exceeded, in that case, you will have to select the range. So let me first do with the simpler case where I have the name given in the question. I say count how many times A has exceeded the sales quota for Q1, Q2, or Q3. So the question, if you can see, it will be count if S, if you can write, and let me select the range for A. So it will be A2 to D2, comma, Now the comes important question comes, that of a criteria. Now, which criteria are you going to give over here? Now, this says that how many times A has exceeded sales. Now, what does it mean? So it doesn't tell you, whether you write. It doesn't tell you anything about the criteria. It just tells you that the criteria has to be has to be more than the expectation, and the data itself says that exceeded Q1, Q2, and Q3 is represented by either yes and no. So we are going to use the same, character which we have in the data. So I say within quotes equal to Y, and let me write capital Y. We can use small also. I hope it should work. And then I close the bracket. So it's count if S. I've used very simple criteria, but count if S will be more useful when we use multiple criteria at the same time. So we have A2 to D2, comma, we have in quotes equal to, we want this to be equal to yes. So it has given me 3 times. So as shown in the sheet also, it's very clearly visible to anybody that A has exceeded the sale by 43 times in the 3 quarters. I give you another question, you write that. The other one is, which is difficult than the one that we have done. Count how many salespeople have exceeded. Count how many salespeople have exceeded in only Q1 and Q2. So please remember, there is a trick in the question. You have to read the question very carefully. I repeat the question again. How many salespeople have exceeded for Q1 or Q1 and Q2 quota? So can you do that on your own? Try doing that on your own. How many have exceeded Q1 and Q2? So I'll do it for you. Read the question very carefully. It's going to say that it hasn't taken Q3 into account. What does it mean? You don't have to bother about Q3, which is our D column. It says that, and it says how many salespeople. So what is our target cell range? The cell range will be, have these people, all the people, and your B column and your C column, right? Because it says, because we haven't mentioned maybe A, B, C, D. So, but if it would have been A, B, C, D, then we would have selected only A, or A2, A3, or A4, depending on the things given in the question. So I repeat again, the question says that how many salespeople have exceeded both their Q1 and Q2 quota. So I'm going to use the same function, count if S. You try doing that on your own as well. So let's see who can do that and get me the result. You have 2 minutes with you. Try doing that, and we're going to see how we can do that better. So let me just do that for you. So we have count if. So it is equal to count if S bracket. It is going to be, okay. See, another trick could be, so it is only asking me the number of the people. So even if I don't select this A range, it should not bother me, because I'm least concerned with the name. I'm only concerned with either yes or no. That is what I want to have. So I want to know, count how many salespeople have exceeded Q1 and Q2. That means I want to know that in Q1 and Q2 column, how many people are having yes. It means that I don't want the people with the no. I only want the salespeople with the yes. So what I do, I'm going to use this range as uh, this B2 to B6, and I'm going to write a comma over here. So with the count if S, I don't have to write count if function again. I can simply write count if S once, give the range, and write the same formula, which was y, y, but it has to come in the quotes. Now for the C column, see what we do. In the earlier cases, what we were doing, we were actually writing another count if for the other column. But in this particular case, we don't have to write count if separately. In the same bracket, we can give another range and another criteria. So I do the same thing over here. I go back to my sheet and I now give this particular range, right? And you can see the range has come in the formula. And I'm going to give another formula over there, which is equal to y, and I close the bracket and I close the quotes as well, right? So that is the advantage of using count if s.